Coming right up, low tide walk and waterfalls. I'm back home now, but I just went on a fun excursion. Donna and I had wanted to do a low tide walk for a little while. Actually, it was her idea and it was a great idea. The plan was to walk from Hopkins Beach all the way to Armour's Beach, so Hopkins to Gibsons. And I'm gonna guess that's about 5 kilometers, I'm not too sure. And probably takes about an hour and a half, but it took us under 2 hours. I was stopping and videoing a little bit here and there. We had a little snack at Soames Point. Anyways, it's a great walk. There's just all of Hopkins Beach to walk, and at the end of Hopkins Beach, there's a rocky point, and so there's a little bit of like hand over hand on the rocks, just kind of, 4 points and keeping your balance, but it's not bad. It's fun. It's great. There's no scary part as long as the tide is low enough. So yeah, 4-foot tide is ideal. You don't want it to be much higher than that. We had a lot of fun being out. It's just nice, chat along the way, and just that beautiful weather. We packed some water and some snacks, so everything was just right. We weren't too tired, and stopped here and there. Lots to see. Walked along the rocks. We saw a whole bunch of starfish, so a lot of points of starfish, so that's kind of neat. And then we actually saw a sea lion, but he wasn't sticking around long enough for me to take a shot of him, so that's too bad. And then a bunch of seagulls and birds and boats going past. The mountains were great. The day's just gorgeous, blue sky, and because even when we got to the different beaches along the way, there were so many, well, not so many people, but for here, there was a lot of people hanging out at the beaches, and at Armour's Beach it was pretty busy too. But anyways, it was a great day. It went by fast. I was kind of sad when it was done. I just wanted to stay outside, and I wanted it to last longer. It was a great walk.
Looked easier on Google Maps, but it was fun.
Hello. So Paul and I decided, Paul suggested we go to Cliff Gilker Park. And so just walking around, there's a loop and there's trails to explore, and there's a waterfall at the bottom and at the top, and the creek all along the way, of course. So lots of cool water things to look at and water sounds. I think we both like waterfalls and waters and creeks and all that good nature stuff and being out and about. And actually each of us playing with a camera and kind of getting different fun shots.
It sounds lame, but there was a bouncy tree in one of the creeks, and it was just kind of cool and hypnotizing to look at. That the wind had grabbed it and thrown in at one point, and just the way that it was sitting, it was just sitting right, just balanced perfectly, but the small end was in a nearby little waterfall. And so as the water flowed, just watched it bounce up and down and down. And Val and I were kind of enthralled by it. So we had to go to basically every angle to get every 360 view we could of this bouncing log in the creek.
And so the waterfall, the water at the one end is just making it bounce. Just a natural rhythm. And I think it's just going to be doing this for a long time. It's pretty cool. It's fun to see.
I like Cliff Gilker Park because it's got a little bit of everything. You don't have to drive very far to get to it. It's easily accessible off the road. And then you've got some really nice, well-maintained trails. There's waterfalls, there's little bridges, there's creeks. And if you're into like sports or soccer or whatever, there's fields up here for that. And then actually pretty good public washroom too. So if you wanted to come spend the day here and enjoy a picnic and see the waterfalls and go for a walk and have a place to use the washroom if you need to. It's a pretty perfect place.
Us old people like to know where washrooms are.
Well, and I think people with kids too, right? Yeah, they're doing the pee-pee dance. You want to have someplace you can take them pretty quick.
Anywho, this was our little adventure at Cliff Gilker Park. And we'll catch you in the next video.
On the flippy flop, that's what the kids say.
Really? Watch it.
I don't know, it's been 20 years since I was cool. I don't know what kids say.
Flippy flop. Maybe that was. Do you think that's a recent one?
No.
That's how out of touch we are?
Yes.